Yes, sir.
Sure.
So, welcome to the show. I have Sayan sir with me. He's a very motivated person and inspiring thousands of people in Instagram. And today we have Sayan sir with us, and he will be sharing about his life journey and making us motivated, and as well as giving us some life vision, what to do, what not to do. That is the most important. So, welcome to the show, sir. Can we begin with your small
Thank you so
introductions?
much. Sure, Big. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. And I'm here to have a very heart-to-heart talk with you and with your audience.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so let's begin, right? The way I would say I do not describe myself in the ordinary sense of the term, right? I look at myself somewhat like a doctor, somewhat like a detective, and somewhat like a health insurer, right? So and why I'm saying this is this because through my programs, through my training, through my coaching,
Yes, sir.
I do a lot of work with people from, for people working for communication skills, people working to improve their. I do a lot of life coaching, so a lot of life problems are resolved through this. I do career coaching, and I do a lot of variety of work, right? And I do it with a lot of different age groups. So I do it from people from 16 years old to 65-year-old, and
Impressive.
founders, executives, as well as college students, right?
Sounds
And
impressive.
yeah, and the journey started, Bibek, somewhere in 2003,
2003.
right? And if you allow me, I'll just go back in time.
Sure, as you wish. Feel free and let us
Sure,
let's
sure,
explore everything.
absolutely. So back in 2003, I was like a fresh, out of school, and I changed cities. I come from a very small town, and then I moved to a very big town, right, Mumbai. And I realized life was completely different. And as you know, like at that age, when you're 18, 19, that is when you start developing a sense of your identity,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Who you are. And
Exactly.
so when I went there, I saw that it was a completely different world, right? It's a completely different world than what I
Exactly.
had with my own group of friends and that small town
I
fun,
agree.
right? And I realized that I need to like really level up here because if you do not level up at different levels of your life, you're going to be left behind,
Exactly.
right? So that was the time when I faced certain issues where I was, I will not say bullied, but I was kind of taunted at because of my communication skills, or I was taunted at because I
Exactly.
came from a small town, right? And I never
Definitely.
took a negative attitude towards that, but I always knew that I had to like improve, I had to go up, I had to level up. And I was fortunate enough to meet my mentor there. I was trained in public speaking. I was trained, and we did some crazy kind of things in our days. I was made to stand in front of colleges,
You tried
in
everything.
front of college gates, and I was told to give speeches. Yeah, you give a speech right in front of a college gate. Like, so you have around 1,000 students looking at this weird guy who is standing. Right? I get it. I get it. And I was a mess there. I was like shivering literally, and you imagine thousand students surrounding you, and then
Coming
they're looking
from
at a weird guy giving a speech to the air in public without any reason, and they're thinking that he's crazy. But that was a challenge to get their attention and to remove that fear of public speaking, right? So we did all kinds of crazy things in those times. And within a few months, I mean, my confidence levels, the way I reacted, the way I acted, the way I dealt with people, and I started participating in a lot of college debates. I started winning debates, which is a funny thing. Because I was not even considering competing till then. I started winning
exactly.
college debates. I went on to represent the university in different places, right? And from there I started coaching. I started coaching in the same place where I got my coaching. I started coaching others, and then I went on and
Okay.
moved and coached other institutes and other places. I was doing it for my friends.
Helping
But to
them.
2007, when I moved out of Mumbai and I started working, right? I started working. I got my first job with a multinational banking giant, and I really performed well. And one of the things was I had that confidence. I was lucky to have
Exactly.
developed that confidence before my first job. right?
And that
Where I
gave you
was
a
working for exactly, and when I was working for 8 hours and I was performing to the best of my abilities, and I also had the confidence to tell it to my boss and explain to my boss why I don't need to stay back after my working hours, right? And all of that happened just because of my communication skills, right?
okay.
And because of that, I got the opportunity to travel around. I got the opportunity to give a lot of speeches, help my friends. I did my MBAs. I used to help my friends make up pitches for the startups, and I used to go with them, right, without any pay. Of course, friends don't pay you anything, right? So
Yeah, not at all.
I used to go with them, and I used to give those pitches. Exactly, exactly. And I used to give those pitches to startup founders on behalf of them. And yeah, so I worked in the corporate sector for almost 12 years, right? Where I worked in different capacities. I started from a collections back office, and I was into sales of educational products. I was into sales of advertising. I got into sales, and then I was sales selling equity as well for some time. And then I got into business
Yes, you
research,
have put
right? And I did all of these for almost 12 years, right?
yes, seems a
And in
fantastic
between, there was
journey.
time,
Very
yeah, and that was a
fantastic journey.
great experience, of course, working with a lot of professionals. So what happened, Vivek, was in 2010, I think, around 2010, right?
Mhm.
I wanted to start my own public speaking and communication program training institute, right? But I did not have that much of capital back then, and we started. I had a friend started it. It worked for a year, and we had to close it down, right? We had to close it down. So after that, I got back into the corporate mix, worked for 10 years again, right? But somewhere from 2015, 2016, I had that itch inside me.
Again, it
I
is
had that
coming.
itch inside me. Yeah,
Again, it is
yeah,
burning.
absolutely. So what happens, Vivek, is once you become really good at something, once you become really, there are, I've heard a lot of, I follow a lot of motivational speakers. I, mix with them. I go for seminars, and I've heard this idea being thrown around a lot that instead of looking for your passion, look for things that give you money, right? And that should help you build your career because money is important. And I agree that money is very important. But from my personal experience, I can tell you that if you're not passionate about something and you don't love something, it becomes very, very difficult to stick to it. It becomes very difficult to go ahead with it for a long time. Right? You will earn the money, but you will never be satisfied.
Okay, I'm
You
able
will
to
have your
relate the
cars,
things. I'm able
exactly.
to
You will
relate the
go for your
things.
dinners. That was my life back in 2015, 16, right? Going for dinners, buying stuff, right? But that happiness was never there. And it almost reached to a place where I was kind of depressed. Like I did not know I was depressed at that point of time because you never know when you are under depression. But later on, when things changed, then I started realizing that probably I was undergoing that because I was never happy. I was always worried. I was always fearful. I was always worried about my job, about my position, about my next promotion, what bonus will I be getting. And I'm not being able by age, the age factor. That days are going by, years are going by, and I'm not being able to live my dream. When will that happen?
So I'm able
I
to
took a
relate the
decision.
things. Whatever
I
you
took a
say,
decision. It took me a few years.
a very fantastic journey from 2003 to
It took me a few years, but I took
2020.
a decision.
Exactly. Definitely a great journey.
Absolutely. But
To
I took a
explain
decision.
it everything in such a simple way. I like the way you explained. First of all, thank you for that. So, sir, I will be asking you. I have many questions from I collected questions that some people who is really
Absolutely. Go
motivated and
ahead.
self-improved people is coming with me.
Yeah.
And what kind of question could you ask? I just randomly asked some of my friends and my family members as well. So I got a bunch of questions. So I have figured out some questions for you. So can I go for the first question? Is that what is self-improvement according to you?
Sure. Yeah. Right. What is self-improvement according to me? Uh, According to me, Vivek, self-improvement is, people ask me why go for self-improvement? Why go for motivation? Why go for all of these things, right? And if you go on and check any YouTube channel with a motivational touch, you will see a million subscribers,
Sure.
right? Why is that? Because people need motivation in their lives, right? I coach so many people. I coach people from director level to founders to young students. And one thing I see is same things. I'm lacking motivation. I don't want to do it. I don't know why am I doing it. Right? I don't know where to go next. I've achieved it all. What to do now? Right? Self improvement is being bit by bit better every single day. Every single day. Right?
Each and every day.
And see, we understand the personal implications. You understand, yeah. And we all understand, right? Personally, we will get richer, we will get happier, lead a better life, we will have a more blissful and contentful life when we're living our passion. And all of those things we understand it, right? I just want to tackle it from a more macro point of view. Right? When one of the reasons I do this, what I do, Vivek, is when we talk of our society, right? We see crimes happening. We see young people doing lots of bad things. We see politicians, and we blame the politicians. We blame the police system. We blame this and we blame that. Right? Who are they? Right? They come from within us. They come from within us. Right? And because they were never exposed to mentorship, to a better mentor in their life, to somebody who could tell them, this is the way to go.
Let's go from
Take
here.
this route. Yes, this is something that you are doing wrong. Let's move. Let's do this. You will have a better society with better people, right? And when you have better society with better people, you will have better lawyers. You will have better police guys. You will have better doctors. You will have
Doctors with us.
considerate and sensitive people in the law and all of those areas, right? Who does it help? It helps us. Like I'll give you an example, and I give this example, Vivek, to everybody. I could be the richest guy, right? I could have lots of cars, I could have so much money and everything. But imagine you have a great house with all of those things, and everybody around you living at that place is a crook, does not have good intentions.
Oh, then we will not be happy at all. That's not a point.
You always be worried.
For it, I will be not feeling safe. And each and every steps are going to be dangerous for me.
Exactly. So we need better people around us. We need better men. We need better women. We need more sensitive, emotionally matured, and we need more people who have dreams, people who have excitement. Right? I always say
Curiosity.
that what is vitality? Vitality is life, right? That's why the doctor says your vital statistics is this, right? Because that is your life. The heart movement, that is your vital statistics, right?
It's going on exactly.
But people today are taking revital because they don't have any vitality in their lives, right?
Not at all.
They're lacking vitality. There is no smile. They're just worried about how to make my career, where will I get the next money, next amount to spend, all of that. They're so stressed and they're so sad and there's no smile on their face. And there's a term called corporate zombies. You go into corporate sector and you see people, the same expressions, the same job, and they come and
again and
again.
again.
They go back home and they come back.
Again and again.
What is life for? Like,
exactly. They are not stopping at a moment and looking at what actually they want, what actually they are doing, rather than following the same path.
True.
This is the things
that
which
is
are
why
happening.
Self-improvement is so important. That is why self-improvement is so important. Because when you improve yourself, you're not just improving yourself. You're making your life better. You're making your family's life better. You're making your community, the people you live around.
Oh, exactly. The whole society.
Your neighbors, you're making their life better, and you're making the country's life better.
Exactly. The whole society we're taking together. So, sir, can we ask you about what kind of tips or tricks, I can say, some tips to make us improve and keep us updated all the time? mentally, physically.
Right. You know what, Vivek? That would require a bit more pointed question because I'll tell you what. We as human beings, we are such complex machines, right?
Very
We have
complex.
so many different partitions in ourselves, right? I was reading somewhere the other day that we have multiple personalities. Every one of us has multiple personalities,
Exactly.
okay? And we have different filters inside us. So when I talk about self-improvement, what if I have to give a very generic advice? What I would say is the first point is when you raise your hand and you say, all right, I don't know it. You know what? I need to improve. I need to take a step. I need to go forward.
Exactly. You
That's the
accept the
first thing.
things.
Accept the
Exactly.
things.
You
Accept
accept the
it.
things that I
Because,
need to
so for
learn more.
example, yeah, yeah. And then you start gaining knowledge about it. That's the first step towards self-improvement, right?
Exactly.
You are
To
doing a
accepting the
podcast,
things.
right? You will do a video editing. I don't know much about it, right? And sometimes I hear people giving the advice that just do it. Absolutely do it. But I just cannot come and say, you know what, Vivek, I'm going to do your video editing for you. I don't know anything, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to learn from it.
Anyhow. Exactly.
I need some knowledge. I need some knowledge for it. The first
That is
step is I
important.
don't know, but I need to improve. So let's take it a level further. Let me start learning about it and
Exactly.
then start implementing it. Then start implementing it.
Surely. Because implementing
Right.
is all about, planning is another part, the implementation is the biggest part. You have to implement it all. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure. So
Absolutely.
very precise answer, I can say. The way you were presenting, I'm getting impressed each and every answer by the answer you're saying. I'm trying to copy you. How
Thank you
can
so much.
I just present my answers like this? That's good. So if I ask you, like the next question will be for you. I'm not playing KBC with you, but also I would like to ask you the question: How can
Please
we?
go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah.
What is public speaking, and like why it is important in this modern world? It is a biggest skill which is being
Right.
all over the country right now. I guess all over the world, I can say. Everyone is trying to learn that. Everyone wants to be a good public speaker.
Yeah.
What according to you it means?
Yeah. Yeah. Public speaking is about moving people. It's about impacting people. Public speaking is about speaking in front of people. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't know them, but putting across your point of view, right, in a manner which is impactful, which is convincing, and which moves people, right? If I cannot touch you, Vivek, emotionally, right? None of my logics or none of this is a mistake people make. They think that logic convinces people. They think that just talking and putting my points across will convince people. No, it does not. Right? I have to hit the right notes. I have to get in touch with your emotions, understand your motivations behind something. All right, and that is what public speaking does. It gives you an opportunity to present your ideas in front of the world or front of people you're speaking with, in the crowd, the audience, and telling them that look, this is what it is, right? And the way you say it, that is what moves people. I have seen people being, the complete lives changing in one session of public speaking, and this speaker has been great, right? Tony Robbins, uh, Gaur Gopal Das, right? These are fantastic public speakers.
They are impacting a lot.
They're very impactful, right? And it is like touching the right nerve.
Exactly.
It's like
Just
touching the right nerve, right? If I can touch the right
holding the
nerve,
problem.
I can unlock, yeah,
Whole
I
body.
can unlock your emotions, your thoughts, and that is where you can, things will change for you. So public speaking, and I'll just, take 2 minutes more on this, Vivek.
Okay, sure.
It's not nothing new. It's not new, right? Public
Exactly.
speaking has been there since ages and ages and ages,
Very last.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, if I go back like so many years back, right? In Greece, in Rome, in England, right? Public speaking was a major part of your study curriculum.
Yes.
Okay, all the leading politicians, all the lawyers, all the leading men, even back then, they were highly revered, highly appreciated, highly, they would get everything, all attention because they were great public speakers. And that's why you see people like Cicero, people like Demosthenes, those times, right? Aristotle, Plato, they put so much emphasis on the art of public speaking, right? And let me break it down for you what it was back then. It was rhetoric, it was logic, right? Oratory, correct? Now the problem is, can I go in front of my boss or my colleagues and start giving a speech, a flying speech where I do all my hand movements and I start moving my voice like this? Can I do it?
No, that would sound a little bit awkward, You suddenly go in front of them and start speaking.
Exactly. But if I've gone for a startup pitch and I just rattle off numbers like a boring person, I just tell you that, Vivek, see, this is my slide, and as you can see on the slide, this is what I did on the first quarter, then we did on the second quarter, then the third quarter, and this is my plan for the next few years. What do you think about it?
It will again be a little bit not so impressive for me.
Exactly. So context and time is very important. In today's times, we cannot do that style of rhetoric, but of course that does not mean that we don't use voice modulations, we don't use we don't use our body language. 93%, as far as a study somewhere, I don't remember where, I think South California study, right? They said that 93% of all communication is non-verbal.
90% is non-verbal.
93%.
93%. My goodness.
Yeah. It does not have anything to do with what you said.
Whatever you're doing
It's
like
got
this
to do-
and everything like that.
It's your body language. It's your confident persona.
The way
It's
you
your
are presenting
attitude, right?
yourself.
Exactly. That is very important. And I don't agree with the 93%, but I would certainly say that these play a very, very, very important role.
Exactly. The way you are presenting your body as well when you're speaking. Because some of the people are still standing at the same place and feeling so nervous, and they're not just speaking. They complete their speech and go back to their backstage. But
No impact.
no impact, not at all.
And that's what you want, right? So when you were speaking in the last session, Vivek, I was very impressed with your last guest, right? At such young age, I cannot even imagine what you were doing back then. But
Thank you so much.
so, what he's trying to do with his product or with his company is try to create an impact.
It's fine.
And that's what most startup people and young people want to do. They want to create an impact. You with your podcast, you are trying to create an impact on your audience. That you try to give them models and paradigms, and that look, this person has done this, and this is what you can learn from this, right?
Exactly.
You're trying to create an impact.
Sure.
The easiest way to create a voice is your mouth. Is what you say with.
Definitely.
Your thoughts.
Exactly. What knowledge is inside in your brain that has been stored, fill it out.
Exactly.
So, so if I ask you again a question that related to public speaking itself, for many people like us, I doesn't have a lot of fear about public speaking. If I am I have given one day, so I can mentally prepare myself that yes, I want to speak in front of thousands of people. I'm ready for that. But for many people, other like me, public speaking has been a very significant problem. If we just told them that you have to speak in your colleagues and boss, they're sitting there, you have to take your laser light and just point out and just explain that chart. So it can be a little bit hectic for them. So what suggestion would you like to give if we want to come over the fear of that public speaking?
Right. See, the fear of public speaking can go away strategically if you approach it, right? It will not go away in one day. But the first step when I say people, the first place where you need to start is with knowledge. Know what is public speaking. It is not just going and talking, right? It is talking to create an impact. It is talking to either persuade, influence, move, create an impact, or entertain, whatever the reason is. The purpose has to be fulfilled.
Sure.
That is the first stage. So you need knowledge. What is public speaking? how can we get better? What are the ways in which you can approach it, right? What are the different roles that you can take place on stage, right? There's so many aspects to it, right? How do you point? How do you use your body language? How do you move your head around the audience? All of
Exactly.
that. That's the first place. The
Okay.
next place is understanding that public speaking does not need. So people tell me, so where can I practice public speaking? I don't have anybody, any place to practice public speaking. Understand that public speaking is a heightened form of communication.
How
It's a
communicate.
heightened form, right? So if I'm modulating my voice to a large degree on stage, but even when I'm speaking to you, Vivek, you will notice that my voice is modulating. I'm
Exactly.
changing my voice,
You're
right?
changing your
I'm lowering my
pitch.
voice.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm
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 able
using
to.
I'm using my pauses. So it is a very organic way of doing it. You know, and it's just the intensity that you display on stage, which will be much greater. But even when you're doing it with one-on-one communication with your parents, with your family, with your children, with your spouse, with your friends, even there, you can use your pauses, you can use your voice modulations, you can use your body language, right? And that is where you practice. That is where you practice.
Okay. We
Right? That
doesn't
is where you
need any kind of
practice.
thousands of people in front of us to practice public speaking.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
See, a boxer, when he's preparing for a fight, he's not getting punched every day before the fight. He's not going and picking up fights with any random person, fighting with that person, right?
Each and every time.
He's just practicing with the bag with some person in a
Exactly.
particular
I just
place,
think
and then he goes and performs there. That's
definitely.
what public speaking is about. Knowledge, practice, identifying your own set of people, and then utilizing your skills every single day.
Exactly. Just
With your parents, with
upgrading
your
and making
family.
yourself improved. Again, the first point is coming to you.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, just imagine, Vivek, if I was sitting here and speaking in a monotone with no expressions, no fun, no excitement,
Not
no
at all.
enthusiasm.
I could not have been enjoying with you. I could have been feel a little bit bored. I could have been think that
Absolutely.
how it is going to be end so soon. Exactly.
Absolutely. And that is the problem that is happening today, like with everybody, right? We have become so monotone in what we say, partly because of our attention deficit, right? That is there. We understand, we accept because of our digital world and all of those things, there's a lot of attention deficit. We are not listening to somebody. The first rule of communication, forget public speaking. The first rule of communication is listening and listening very intentfully. The way you're doing it to me right now, you're listening to what I'm saying and you are responding based on what I'm saying,
Exactly.
right? But mostly people listen to say what next. They have already made up their mind what to say next.
They want to
You
counter
know,
that as soon
it
as
doesn't matter
possible.
what you say. I will say my point.
Exactly.
There will be no persuasion. There will be no influence. There will be no connection. Nothing. Where you suffer? You suffer in your personal life. You suffer in your professional life. You suffer in various areas, right? Because we are people.
Exactly.
We
We're
are
not
people.
made like that.
People are exactly. We all have emotions, right? I can be a coach and anything, and you can be a podcaster and a video creator and a video editor, and all of those things are fine. But ultimately, it is Vivek talking to Sayan right. We are human beings. We're
Exactly.
talking, we're smiling, we're talking about our things that we're enjoying to talk about, right?
Sure.
Every interaction should be that.
Exactly. So first thing is acquire the knowledge about the public speaking, surely. And that is
Then
the,
you
I guess
start
that is the
implementing.
people lacking. They doesn't want to acquire the knowledge at all. They always want a drastic change, whatever they think. If they want to click
That
with
is
it,
there. That is
a drastic change
absolutely,
in only a
absolutely.
single day.
Everybody wants, yeah, everybody wants a very, very quick, a result. I always
Results.
say, anything worth getting is worth struggling for and worth fighting for. Only then it makes, it is sweet. No one day solutions from my side. I don't give one day solutions. And the second thing that I want to talk about is when you are, you've learned public speaking. You've got some knowledge, right? where you are getting your knowledge from. That's very important,
The source,
right?
which is
Nobody, I know nobody who is a very good public speaker and he became a great public speaker by watching YouTube videos. I know nobody. And there's a reason, right? So, for example, I come from an old school, right? Vivek, you are young, you are very good with video making and all of those things. I'm not that good, right? I accept my weaknesses. If I'm a good content creator, does that mean that I'm also a good public speaker? It does not mean,
no,
right?
no,
I can
no.
make a great video, but
You
I
can
may not
edit a
be
great
a
video.
great public speaker.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right? So making a good, beautiful looking video does not mean that you are the expert or you have the expertise on that particular thing. It's a video, it's a great video. You're doing a great work. You're giving knowledge and that's great. But being an expert and doing a video is different. And being a content creator, full-time content creator, and giving life advices is different.
That's
Correct.
something
If you have
impressive.
not gone through the struggles, you have not seen the highs and the lows, and you have not interacted enough and solved enough problems, and you have not been trained enough, and you have not
Observe.
done all of those things, right? You may have a million followers. People love your videos. You have great sceneries, great songs, great people coming to your podcast and stuff. But an expert, the way an expert will deal with you, it's different. It is really different. It is only when you deal with an expert that you get to know that how impactful or how life changing those things can be. So getting your advice from the right place is very important. It's very, very important. And what happens is people like me who are not great with videos, maybe we are. So that is one of the reasons I came to your podcast. Is I want to reach your young audience and tell them these things. They should listen to these things because maybe I will not be making a video. I don't know. Maybe I will, but as of now, I have no plans. Maybe because I am doing coaching and stuff all through the day and
Okay.
meetings. So maybe I will not be able to reach so many people as you can reach. You have that reach. I don't have it.
Yeah. So
So
as listening to your answer, I will be asked a related question, which is just related to getting
yeah,
a good knowledge from a right person who is already been expert in them, who have already faced a
yes,
lot of challenge. So you can see
very true.
in this last decade, few decades, or 2 decades, I can say, from the birth of 2000, the children who are born from 2000, I simply say that's my age. That's my age.
Yeah,
So I can observe myself and my surrounding, my friends, my age group, that the leader or the senior's value is decreasing.
okay,
So because that is happening just because if I want a question, I want to ask a question. So I will be nowadays. Before at your time when you were at 18, you could have been gone to your seniors, ask him that particular question. What can you just help me with this solving this problem? You could have been told like that. But in this age, if someone says that, go and ask your senior about this question, he or she might say, why shall I go to my senior? I'll go in the Google and find the answer correctly. So, and that is
yeah,
impacting in a bad way because a generation gap is coming there. I'm able to observe that. That is my sense of present is saying that a generation gap is coming.
right,
So, what do you think? The
yeah.
technology is impacting and replacing the seniors which we have, and the expert and the masters which you were telling me. The technology is replacing.
Right. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. It's a great question, right, Vivek? Fantastic question. I personally started using internet frequently at the age of 19. Right. So for the first 18 years of my life, I would maybe I had used internet once or twice or twice. The first 18 years of my life. Right. I started using it at 19 when I moved, and then we had cyber cafes in 2003 and all of those things. We used to go to cyber cafe and sit there and do your research,
Do your task.
do your task, right? And it was a different. So things have really changed and things have really improved. The plus sides are amazing, right? You have all the knowledge of the world in your fingertips, right? You have young creators like you. Your last guest, I was like really impressed with the last one, right?
Sure,
Uh,
exactly.
so the level
Yeah,
of understanding, the level of maturity, Viraj, right? The level of understanding, level of maturity, fantastic. And that is what I see in a lot of young guys too. I mean, a lot of young guys have given up that thing that I just want to have a secure career and I want to make an impact by doing probably a startup or some other way, which is fantastic, fantastic. I cannot praise it enough. There's so many positives to it, right? There's so many positives I cannot praise it enough. Now, what I feel is lacking. There are a few things lacking, right? So one is obviously going to Google and asking for everything. That is, the ability to think through problems is has gone down, which I feel. Right? People
exactly.
don't want to think through problems; they just want to go on Google and search for every time,
And they
and
want to
they
get
want a
instant
ready-made
answer.
result. Exactly. Right? This affects in logic building. This affects in your critical thinking. All of those aspects. Right? That's first. Second, as they say, everything that you see on Google is not true, right?
Not at
Or
all.
probably the best answer lies in the 50th page, but you're not going to the 50th page.
Bottom.
You're seeing the first page, right? So you're not getting the best answer. Uh, like you go to a doctor, but then you come back and you check on Google, was he correct? And then you get, oh, you can have a very serious disease when it is nothing basically, right? That is a problem. That is a problem.
Exactly.
Values, I think people are, what make, I think young people like you have a lot of great values. I think that you have a lot of, I see a lot of positive in the youth today. I see a lot of positive in the youth today where I think they should improve. You know, I think they should not just think in one unidirection, right? It is not about just starting a startup.
Okay.
There are so many other areas that you can do so much more,
Sure.
right? A country is not just made of startups. A country is made of teachers. Country is made of lawyers. A country is made of great
Doctors.
doctors, right? If you're not happy with the the legal system, become a great lawyer,
And fight for
right?
it.
If you're not happy with the way and fight for it. If you're not happy with what is being taught in schools, like everybody is like, schools are bad, schools are bad, schools are bad. We have not learned anything from school. Good. Be that teacher who, I still meet people who are like 40, 45, and they will always say, my teacher always discouraged me. And my teacher said, you can never be anything, right? And I'm surprised. Why would a teacher say something like that? Correct? It's your task to encourage. It's your task to get them, better. So be
Definitely.
the teacher. Be- do something adventurous. Even that's fine. Go and become a mountaineer. Go and become a race car, driver. There are so many ways to think. What has happened is, and it has its positives, right? So the startup culture, it has its positives. We need more entrepreneurs. We need that startup
Sure,
culture.
exactly.
Absolutely important. But what I'm just saying is that is not the only way, right? Your life has a meaning, right?
Exactly.
And your life's meaning, you should explore it. You should explore your life as much as you can and see where your thing lies, where
Fitting for
that
it.
thing where you can, yeah,
Exactly.
go ahead, do probably get into martial arts, go and
Fight for yourself.
become an athlete, do anything, and then there you put in your efforts and you should shine and live out your passion, live out your dreams. But just don't be like a Pied Piper thing. You just don't look at one particular thing, and because it's so much in focus, then just go after it. Look for your own self. Be self-aware. Find more about yourself.
Learn
Uh,
about yourself.
one thing with young people, I work a lot with young people, Vivek, and one thing I come across very often is overthinking. I'm always overthinking things. I'm always thinking about something or the other, and small issue, right? And it takes time to resolve that. But I would say on a very basic level, start understanding yourself, start understanding your thoughts, start understanding your emotions, your feelings, right? You don't need to be macho. You don't need to be, not who you are. Just be who you are. Be authentic.
Be genuine. Exactly.
Be authentic, right?
Surely.
Be genuine and let people like you for who you are.
Not who you are acting. Exactly,
right?
because many of the people are just showing their another face in
It's
front of them.
like
Exactly, and in a different
exactly.
perspective or a
It's just
different
like, see,
personality.
you go for a, yeah. See, you're young, right? You go for a date.
Okay.
You go for a date, and you can lie as much as you want, right? And date is successful. What will happen?
At the
So on the
last,
next
everything
date,
is gonna know.
yeah, everybody's going to know, and you will strive hard to keep up that facade. You every date you will come, you will try to keep up that facade of who you are not. You will not be comfortable. You will not be happy in that.
Exactly. I need to lie thousand times more to just cover that simple thing, which I have done in the first date. Exactly.
Yes, yes. Keep your life
So
simple.
keep it exactly. I was learning programming language just in this lockdown. I learned many of the programming language.
Great.
So often, frequently, I
Right.
got to know about a law. That law name was KISS, KISS. And when I just
Right.
listened at what is full form for that, then my sir told that keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
And I found it
Yes.
very impressive. Like if I started putting the things in a simple way, it is going to be easy for me itself. I am making the complex for mine. No one is gonna make
Absolutely.
complex for me. Exactly. So
And I will tell you one thing. Sorry, Vivek, just to interrupt
go
you.
for that. Okay.
Uh, right. Last year I went because I have to level up myself. Right. If I have to train
Self
deeper. So
improve.
I go for these conferences and seminars, right? I was in Singapore in 2019, and we had all the world leaders of public, personal development there. And one very good thing that I learned from there, right? That very often it is you who is stopping, you're stopping yourself from your dreams, right? So, for example, this is Bibek, and this is your dream, right? And in between, there is that Bibek who is self-doubting himself. And then there is a Bibek version who is afraid. And then there's the Bibek version who is not willing to take risks. And then there's the Bibek version who is not willing to do the work. So it is these versions of you that is in between your dreams and you. Nothing else, nobody, no external factors. You just need to remove one by one. Your dream will automatically be in your, very close to you.
Definitely. I'm figure outing the things and able to relate in my day-to-day life. Exactly. So that's it. Like in this modern world, we can often listen to this word that think out of the box. So what actually does it means? Think out of the box. And if yes, then
Think
how
out of
can
the,
we do
yeah,
that?
right. To be honest, I have not found, and I'll be very honest with you, I have not found what is the exact model to think out of the box. So let's start with what is think out of the box, right? Think out of the
Oh
box is
yes,
being creative. It's being creative. It's not following the norm. Not following the norm, right? And probably that is the starting point. So let me go along with you. Let me go along with you and let's figure this out. All right?
okay,
Let's figure this out, both of us, right?
okay,
So when I say think out of the box, so this is the box, and I need to think out of this, right? What is this box? This box is the norm, right? The set of rules and regulations set by some people.
the boundaries
Okay,
which already has
the
been set.
boundaries, right? Has been set. So maybe my starting point could be let me start thinking what is beyond that boundary, which means I will not think what is inside that boundary. I will negate that. I will remove that from
You
my
just,
thought
just
process,
keep it side.
and then I will start thinking what is beyond that boundary. That is my starting point to think, right?
Exactly.
And there from there on, you could structure in terms of corollaries or in terms of uh, what exists and what is the exact opposite of it. So, for example, somebody says, which is the old thinking that uh, doing your engineering or your doctor is the only way to become successful in life.
Successful
Right?
man.
We heard that throughout when they're growing up, right? Become an engineer or you become a doctor. Okay. So what next? So I could start by thinking, okay, I do not want to become an engineer or a doctor. Now what? Right? What happens if I do not become an engineer or doctor? What other options do I have? Right?
Okay.
With those options, what are the normal? So if I could become a video creator, right? Now what is the norm that people are making a video on? So people are making videos on motivation, people are making videos on health, and people are making videos on this. So let me look at this is the box, and these are the topics on which people are making videos. What is not being tackled? What is not being touched? Let me start thinking on that though, right? Okay,
Definitely.
this is a niche area. This is somewhere I can start contributing. There's somewhere I can start, bringing value to start making videos on that. And of course,
Exactly.
along the way, you keep changing, but that is a starting point, and that is probably how you can start thinking out of the box.
Definitely. Keeping the things which are already set up in aside, just looking at the rest of the things which are left over. Exactly, which are
Right. And at
untouched by
every
everyone.
stage, yeah. And at every stage, like a mathematical calculation, at every stage, when you take the next stage, you start counter valuing things and logically breaking down. Okay, was this better or is it better? Right? The thing I'm thinking of, will that give me better returns or better fraction or better coverage or better viewership, whatever it is? Will this give me? How will I know it? Let me implement it and see. Let me implement it. So I implemented it. I saw that okay, it is not working that well as I thought. So was it an execution problem or was it an idea problem? Let me think beyond that. So you take it to a next level. So just like a mapping your mind, you take it from one step to another, one node to another, and that's how I think
And you
the
connected everything.
problem that think of creative thinking, outside the box thinking. Yes, that comes true.
That is a very impressive answer. And yes, I guess this answer should be shown to all the 18-year-old children right now, because this is the age when
Yeah,
everyone is thinking, and exactly.
true.
And as you already mentioned, that overthinking is also being a problem as well. So now, what do you think
Huge
the
problem.
social media is playing a significant role in making the people depressed and to think overthinking? What the social media is
Yeah,
playing there?
absolutely, absolutely. I will not sugarcoat this. Rick. I know a lot of influencers have said that use social media for your benefit and use social media to create awareness and create a group of people,
Impact.
followers, and all those things. Yeah, true. But the facts show something else. The facts show that maximum people are suffering from depression, are suffering from neurotic behavior uh, because of social media. And it is not because of social. It is social media does contribute to it. Does contribute to it. What has happened is in the last 15 years or last 10 years, today, it has also created a shift in character of people, or probably the shift in character happened before. I don't know, but the shift I see is people are too conscious of the image, right? If you're standing with a group of friends, you cannot take a joke because earlier when people used to crack jokes on us, we would laugh with them and we would be who
Appreciate.
we are, yeah, appreciate it or whatever. But now what has happened is when someone is cracking a joke on you, you are thinking, how does that make me look in front of others?
Exactly.
The thing that what others are going to think about me. Oh my God, he cracked a joke. Oh, I was scolded by my teacher. What are everybody going to think of me, right? And my image. What are people going to think of my image? No, your image does not matter, right? It is your character that matters. It is your
Exactly. A very
character that
strong
matters.
point.
Yeah, and that's why I build a strong character. Like if I know who I am, and if I understand who I am, and if I am proud of my achievements, and I'm aware of my frailties or my problems or things I've done, mistakes, it does not matter what you portray me as doing. It does not matter what you talk about me. You know what? He's a fraud. He is this. He's that. It does not matter. I know who I am, and I know what I'm doing, right? And that is what that level of self-esteem, that level of awareness, that level of self-confidence. You know, it is breaking the moment you're creating a facade for yourself. The moment you're saying, you know what, look, I am in this lovely place. I'm in this lovely place, right? And you're picking up pick, but actually you have used a curtain, or maybe you have, you're
The
just showing a
background,
part of it. You're not.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Right? See, you're fooling people, but what you're doing is you're fooling yourself
Exactly.
because your persona. Let's say your persona, right? Your persona is a small thing inside you. Okay, let's assume it's like a real thing inside you. Okay, like a little doll inside you. Okay, small break inside you, right?
Okay.
What is happening is, yeah, okay. And every time you do this, you're telling your persona that I do not love who I am inside. That's why I'm showing something else, right? And your mind and your persona listens to you, and it decreases in size. You know what? I'm not worth it. I'm not good enough. Right?
Exactly.
I will
I
decrease,
doesn't
right?
exist here. My presence is not so
So
important.
exactly. And when you do it again and again and again and
It
again,
gets more smaller.
it becomes smaller, becomes smaller, right? And when you lose that, then your insecurities go up, then your fears go up, then your worries go up, then your overthinking goes up.
And then the problems
So
face
understand
come. You started facing a lot of
exactly,
problems.
exactly. What's the solution to it? You know what I prefer? What I sometimes do is I go on a digital detox once a week, right? On a particular day, I try and just stay away from all kinds of social media and YouTube, right? All of those things. Once a week, I completely try and detoxify myself. The other way I do it is I always have, I use say FB for 15 minutes, Instagram for 15 minutes. Like I've set time limits for that for the app through my,
Exactly.
the settings on your phone. You can set your time limits,
Exactly. We can
and then it
schedule
blocks
that.
you out. Yeah, and it is difficult for the first few days, but you get used to it. And when you realize that why it is so bad for you, it should it should really start you know the cases of depression, cases of mental sickness. It has a lot to do with this
Beautiful word.
particular this facade world that you've created. And what it has also done is you start feeling that I don't need real friends because I have so many friends on
And
Instagram liking my
Facebook,
pics.
exactly. Definitely.
I don't know a single person who has a vibrant family, a vibrant group of friends. You go outside, you spend time in the sun, you do some activities, you go and discuss your life problems, you do a heart to heart with your friend, right? You will, the chances of you suffering from some kind of issues
Mental disease.
internally goes down a lot. Yeah, it goes down, it goes down. But when you put yourself in a cocoon, this
You
is my
save
world.
it.
Yeah. The people I have not seen on PUBG, they are my friends. And the people I have never met on Instagram who are following me, they are my friends. And they are liking my pics. So, my world is fine. I am good to go. But you know what?
Exactly.
Somewhere that is not your real world. That's not your
At
real
all,
world.
exactly. That you're just making a virtual world for you and living there your whole
Exactly.
life. And that is
Exactly.
happening,
So what I say, Vivek, so what I say for that is improve, your attitude towards life, have a positive attitude, get better with your communication. Why? I'll tell you why. Because that helps you get more friends. That helps you get more net acquaintances. People are attracted to your personality. Improve your personality. Go and meet people. Create a huge network among you, for yourself. People who you meet and and you talk on the phone, real people, right?
Exactly.
And create a system around you, create an ecosystem around you, so that you don't feel the need to go and spend hours and hours on social media, or hours and hours on watching videos.
Exactly. It doesn't have to rely on that virtual world. You have your own
Exactly.
real world supporting you, motivating you from internally and externally as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And the way to remove any negativity from your life or negative things from your life is to add so much positivity and so much positive things to your life that the negativity should automatically go away, or those effects
It is
should automatically
automatically
disappear.
covered up. Exactly. That is the only way.
That's not.
That is seems real. So I will be not taking a lot of time. I will be asking a small question again about debates and all. That you can see debates has played a significant role in our life from ancient time itself. So, but nowadays, if you look, what actually debate means, if you ask a common student like me, what actually debate means to you, so I might, or the common student like me might give you the answer like this: that the one who are doing in Aaj Tak and should like the new channels, they are calling some of the few people, they are just talking in a such a way, roasting each and everyone, and that is debate. So, what, according to
Yeah.
you, debate means, and what you like to say about the modern world debate which is happening now nowadays?
Yeah. 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 So you said 2 minutes, but I will go on about this for at least 3 to 4 minutes. Vivek, just
As
allow me
you
to go
wish.
about this, right? Right. Because I'm really passionate about these things, and I spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of my life's research and life's, time based on these things. I'll tell you what. As an individual, as a human being, who are we? Right? What are we? We are nothing, and I'm not going to the spiritual side of it, but we are nothing but the ideas that we have in our head and the opinions that we have in our head, right? That is who we are, right? So if I say who is Vivek, Vivek is somebody who's very positive and he's got a very good smile, but he's got very good questions and he's got very good ideas and opinions. And his thoughts, I love his thoughts. So when you think of any person, it is his thoughts that matters more, right? What is his opinion? What did he say? Oh my God, what did that person say? It is your opinions, it is your thoughts. The problem is we have today, and this is my experience with talking to people. People think, what, I don't have anything interesting to say. My opinions are not do not matter. My opinions do not matter.
Exactly. They are
You know,
not gonna be.
but yeah, whatever is going to happen will happen. Why should I give my opinion? My
Why
opinions do
should I
not
give
matter.
my opinions? Exactly. They say like that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Understand that your opinion and people, if you have an opinion and if you have, the art of convincing other people with your opinion, that is what shapes the future of not just your life but future of nations, right? In the old world, in old times, right, people, when there's this beautiful thing of, I think it was Cicero, right, and he has this long speeches, pages and pages. And Philip of Macedonia, he was attacking all. He was a barbarian, right? He was attacking all of these places. And when he was trying to attack Athens, and there were people inside the council who wanted Philip to come in because traitors from inside. So this
Exactly.
person, he gathered everybody in the central hall of those era, right? And he started giving a speech, and that speech went on for hours and hours and hours, right? And that single speech changed the entire view of people. And people were
Exactly.
like, no, we do not want this guy to come. We will stop him by any might. And that is what your ability to speak, your ability to communicate, your ability, your opinions
Debate.
matter.
Exactly.
Yes. And what is a debate? Your debate is, it is my view against your view. And whoever has better logic, better expressions, better way of communicating, that view will hold. Simple. It's very simple, right? That's what a debate is. But not running away, not shying away from a debate, but coming and saying, this is what I feel. This is my opinion. I matter, right? My opinions matter. That is very important. My opinions do not matter on Twitter. A hashtag does not. It might do a momentary change, but it will not make a huge change in any
Yeah.
big
True.
scheme of things,
Exactly.
right? Or especially in my life, it is not going to make any change because I'm doing it under a false Twitter handle and whatever. But why do that? I have a face, I have a body, I have my mind, and I can crisply, clearly say what I feel. And when you say that no, you are wrong, or what, this does not make sense, I can go and say, what, makes this makes sense because of this and this and
This is
this, and
happening.
I will convince you.
Exactly.
And this power of communication is required, this power of debate is required because it develops your logical ability. It develops your power to think too. It helps your critical thinking, but it gives you a powerful personality. It helps you when you are discussing your negotiations with your boss or your salary raise or your promotions.
Exactly.
It helps you to convince the girl you're dating to marry you. It helps you convince your wife that, what, let's go to this beautiful place. I think this is a great place to
Exactly.
visit. We'll go to your mother's place later. Let's travel and let's
Let's
go to
go
this
to
place.
this place today.
Convincing, the power of convincing. See, the power of convincing, the power of persuasion is the highest power, right? The skill of communication, I call it a meta skill,
Metal skill.
right? Why? Because you do programming, you work in the programming field, right? You become a doctor, you do work in the doctorate field, right? It only helps in that particular field. But communication skill is a skill that helps you in your profession, it helps you in your personal life, it helps you in your friendly, your network building, it helps you
Everyone.
every single area of your life. Right? And
Exactly.
that's why debates is not just what you see on TV. And why do you see bad debaters on TV, Vic?
Huh?
I'll tell you why. Because the people with good thoughts, good ideas, good opinions do not want to speak, do not want to debate. They just want to keep their ideas to themselves.
And that is the
You know,
reason I'm looking at the bad one.
exactly. If you have the power to change the world with your words and with your communication.
So this is going to be the ending of the session now. That was really nice
Loved
talking with
it.
you.
Loved it.
Thank
Same
you
here.
so
You
much.
have fantastic questions, Vic, and I loved talking to you. It was a very genuine conversation, and this is how way I
I'm
like
very
it,
happy.
right?
Thank you so much.